Hi everybody. Okay, we're on to the next stage of my channel. This message comes in from YouTube. This is somebody I made a video about before. This person is the one who worked in the music industry. I believe the video I did that is Narcissism doesn't have an economic class. She had two other questions for me, and I'm just going to cut to her questions and leave out because the other stuff is kind of personal. I am curious to know your opinion about this. Do flying monkeys really not know that they are living a lie with their false airs of superiority? Do they really not realize deep inside that the narcissist they are defending is highly pathological, which is a highly pathological witch or a pathological wanker? Obviously, this person's from England. Also, no one has ever asked this, but when someone is a heavy substance abuser, alcohol, coke, crack, heroin, or whatever, when they stop using, say it may be 2 years of being sober, does that affect or help negate any of the narcissistic behavior they had prior to their addictive addiction? Or are they going to still get the same narcissist, not just loaded? Okay. As far as the flying monkeys go, yes, they realize that the person is bad and evil. They don't care. Why does the enabler enable? For a couple reasons. Usually, and I've said this before, it's financial. It's a money thing. They're out to get something. It's usually a will, or if it's not a will, if it's a non-family member, they're looking to hang out with this person. They're looking to get something out of this person. They're usually the enabler is usually benefiting personally by carrying on the relationship with the narcissist. So that's why I say the enabler of the narcissist needs to be cut out, because of course they know. Of course they know, especially if you've already told them your side of the story and they don't care. Okay, because the enabler always wants you to get back with the narcissist, wants you to put up with the narcissist, wants you to just carry on as business as usual for the narcissist. Why? Okay, usually they're gaining financially, they're gaining by hanging out, or they're gaining by turning the narcissist rage back on you off of them because it's already turned on them. So absolutely, they know what they're doing. They know that they're being pathological, but they don't care, which is why I keep saying the enabler needs to be cut out. Now, as far as the heavy substance abuse or alcohol, drugs, whatever, does them becoming sober negate their narcissistic behavior prior to their active addiction? Depends on the person. Usually now, if you've cut somebody out because of drugs, now a lot of narcissists will turn to alcohol specifically. It's specifically alcohol, I find, cocaine, heroin. To me, a substance abuser falls into the same line as your hoarder, where they're using the addiction as a control mechanism over you. So everything still becomes about them and their addiction, okay? And puts the focus on them, and they are able to control your life through their addiction. So it really depends what led up to it. If they were a narcissist beforehand, what I would say is a true narcissist will never actually give up the drugs and the alcohol. They'll give you the high lows, which a narcissist loves to do. It's like when the narcissist makes you promises and then it keeps that carrot at the end of the stick and then constantly pulls it away. It's the same thing with your drug abuser. How many times of those you have substance abusers, you think they're going to get clean, you think you gotten through to them, you think, and everything's good for a while, and they've gotten all that attention based on them getting clean and sober, and everything, all the focus is on them. Once the focus turns off of them getting clean and sober, okay, now you're just clean and sober and you're a normal person, most of them go back to using, just so they can turn the focus back on them, so they can have their addiction back, and now the focus is back on them. So you really need to be careful with this. And, I'll give you two examples very, very recently. Number one is my best friend, who coincidentally I spoke to yesterday, and it really bummed me out. And this is the same best friend in phone call from Narcissistic Mother, where my mother was saying about, oh, who you got in your life, the drug addict. And, he is a drug addict, cocaine and alcohol. And he's got a serious problem. And the thing with him was, I never saw him drink, and he never took cocaine until May 7th, 1997. He just made a decision that day, I'm just going to become a cocaine addict. And, he called me yesterday, and I haven't spoke with him in a few months. And he just came right out with it. He goes, I'm using again, I'm high, He didn't sound high. He didn't sound out of control. And I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I understand. Because I understand what he had gone through. And even he admitted, like, he uses this as a means of punishing his parent, punishing his mother specifically, but punishing his family. And I didn't lay on, he's like, I just want to, and it wasn't like he was looking for sympathy from me yesterday. He wasn't. He just wanted to talk. So, and I told him, I'm like, look, I'm not passing judgment on you all. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, you got so much to live for, yada, yada, yada. Even though I don't think you should kill yourself over this. But I understand where you're coming from. So, there's different types of abusers of substances. It really depends on the reason why. If somebody gets clean and sober and admits they have a problem and can get to the root cause of their addiction, I would say they'd be more likely to stay away from their narcissistic behavior that they had prior to it. But you got to understand, it was the narcissistic behavior a lot of times that leads to the drug addiction and the alcohol addiction. A second one is somebody I'm friends with who, has been having issues with relationships, and the common denominator in all the relationships that went bad is the people that this person was with has some kind of substance abuse, whether it be alcohol, prescription medication, hard drugs. Okay? And the root cause of all of those were personality disorders and some sort of narcissism, in my opinion. So, like, substance abuse is a tough one, but a lot of it is a root cause of narcissism. And a lot of substance abusers use the substances as a means of control. Just the way hoarders hoard as a way of controlling their environment and controlling the people around them and making everything about them. So, yes. So to answer both your questions, yes, the enabler knows what they're doing. They know the person's pathological, but they're usually out for some kind of financial gain, some kind of personal gain. They don't want to be cut out of the circle, or they want to turn, or that narcissistic rage has then turned on the enabler, and the enabler has become the black sheep, and they're looking to turn it back on you. So the enabler, yes, doesn't really matter. If they're an enabler, cut them out. They know what they're doing. Cut them out. The substance abuser, you have to be very careful of, because a lot of times it is narcissism that does lead to it. So I hope that helps. Thank you for your question. Please support the channel if you can, by donating to the GoFundMe link in the description box. This is Ollie Matthews. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you all again real soon.